Welcome back. Today in our Sunday Spotlight, we're joined by John Leguizamo. You know his acting from movies like Carlito's Way, Moulin Rouge, Super Mario Brothers, Collateral Damage. He's also the voice of Sid in the Ice Age movies. He's a comedian, a producer, a writer, and he's brought his musical Kiss My Aztec to Hartford Stage. It's there right now. This morning we welcome John Leguizamo to CT22. Thank you for being with us, John. First, tell us about this show that's playing right now at Hartford Stage.
Well, thank you for saying the title so boldly. I appreciate that. I mean, I love Hartford. I've been there lots. I did Latin History for Morons and Ghetto Clown, and the reception there was so beautiful. It made me feel so welcomed and so at home.
So tell us about this show. What can people expect if they head out to Hartford Stage?
Well, the show is I think one of the funniest things in decades. It's very highbrow and very lowbrow at the same time. It's about kind of like the birth of Latin man. It's when the conquest happened in the 1500s, and the Spaniards came and Europeans came and destroyed our empires, and the mixing of the bloods. That's when Latin man was born. So this is like a rebel group that survived the conquest and wants to take back the land from the Spaniards, and they battle up and try to win.
Obviously taking something that is so serious when you look at it historically and giving it a new look and putting it on the stage. You had a very interesting op-ed in the Hartford Courant this week talking about having that Latino voice up there on the stage. You talked about the host of the Tonys and different places that culture can be seen. And one of them certainly is this show. That's very important to you. You can tell.
Oh, yeah, very important. I mean, we Latin people are, 20% of the U.S. population. And in New York City, we're equal to whites in population size, and yet kind of virtually absent in all the publications that we have here. Anything with the title of New York is not including us in terms of reporters, journalists, and stories. So to me, it's very important because when Lin-Manuel and I create stuff and put it on Broadway, people come from everywhere, man, looking to see themselves represented, hungry for representation and to feel like they've been seen, and they'll spend crazy money on it too. Like when my shows are up, it's like $250 for top seats, and they'll be there like 3 or 4. That's a lot of money on one night.
Yeah, you talked about that in the piece, and you actually had a line that made me chuckle. You wanted to see representation more than a Si Senor walk-on. I thought that was a great line, and that sort of token reference to the culture as opposed to being a main character, and having people say, you know what, I don't normally spend, like you said, $250 to go to a show, but I'm going to this one because I see a little of myself on that stage. Is that an important connection?
Oh, I think it's very important. It's my whole reason of being and why I exist and have this career. When I did Mambo Mouth in New York City back in 1990, we were virtually absent, like zero representation everywhere. And I did my show, and all of a sudden audiences found me and I found them, and they filled my houses, all my theaters. And I felt, oh my God, I represent of people that are invisible, and they love seeing themselves, and that boosted my whole career. All my shows have been boosted by Latinx people supporting me.
What about just the fact that we're back to live shows? I mean, you talked about seeing live theater as a kid and calling it your passport to travel the world. That experience for 18 months, 2 years has really been sorely missed by many people who love that like you did. Just being back there and having live audiences, what's that like as an actor to have that back again?
Oh, it's so exciting, man. I mean, once the theaters were open and the Knicks, I went to the first few games of the Knicks even just to feel what it was like to be in community, and seeing a spectacle. And then I saw Lehman Brothers twice. I saw Trouble in Mind. I saw For Colored Girls Only. I was so hungry to see entertainment and be there with other people. It's so vital. It makes you feel alive. It's just a powerful feeling. Life for me.
It's so good to be there. It's even good to watch the Knicks. That's saying something.
You know, if I'm saying that, you know, yeah, that's how hungry I was for live entertainment.
We did see headlines, unfortunately, though, shows having to get shut down. You said it's like a miracle that there was enough shows that kept running to have the Tonys. Is that a worry? You know, you're talking about this show that's in Hartford. You have the cast close together. There is still, obviously, you know, COVID going around. How much of a concern is this pandemic still, though, as you're trying to put on a show?
I mean, obviously we're taking all the precautions, and everybody's, you know, boosted, so nobody's going to die. I mean, if you're boosted, you're going to survive this. So we're taking all the precautions, and people are coming out, man. I mean, that's what the Hartford Stage told me, that we're getting sizes of the house that are pre-pandemic again. So that's really exciting.
You talked about having performed in Hartford and been in Hartford yourself. A facility like Hartford Stage, where you have an intimate, close audience, coming in to see something like this, where you're trying to make them laugh and have that engagement with the actors, take a very, very serious historical subject and kind of give it that funny play. What's that connection like with the audience? Is that something people should look forward to?
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna laugh their butts off. I mean, it is a laugh out loud show. The music is banging. The jokes are, you know, the jokes per minute are coming fast and furious. It's a smart piece. You know, I created this patois, sort of a Elizabethan with some ghetto slang blended together. I was there the first night, June 1st, the first night of previews, and it was electric, man. It was a powerful experience.
And is it neat, too, to see people, you know, we've all been to see, you know, the big name productions that everybody's seen over the years. But when you see someone see a story for the first time, a story they may not know, is that kind of a different experience with an audience? You know, you're not up there seeing Phantom of the Opera or The Music Man or something where you can appreciate its greatness, but you know it. This is something where you may be watching this show live and not really knowing where it's going.
Well, it's interesting, you know, like the part of our invisibility as a Latin person is also our stories aren't being told, and also aren't being taught to us in schools. So we're at a deficit, all of us, America and Latin people, because we don't know our stories. So to tell our stories, it's brand new to everybody. So it's a little harder to construct jokes on things, because jokes are built on recognition of something we know. So I have to start from zero and give you something that then you will know and laugh at. So it's a little more difficult. It's much easier to regurgitate white culture back to the audiences. I can do that, but that's not, I want to do what is missing. I want to put the missing piece back.
So we got about 30 seconds left. We will tell people how they can go see this show, but what's next for John Leguizamo? What are you working on now?
Right now, The Survivor is on HBO, a powerful film about the Holocaust, about a fighter. Ben Foster's brilliant in it. He was a fighter who came from Auschwitz and fought Rocky Marciano in 1949. I play the trainer, and The Menu comes out this fall, November 18th.
All right.
And Violent Night, December 2. It's all coming out.
There you go. All right. Well, it's going to be a busy time for you. We appreciate you taking a little time to be with us. John Leguizamo, thanks for being on the show.
Thank you for having me. What a pleasure.
And again, Kiss My Aztec. That's the name. He likes how emphatically I say it. It's playing through June 26th at Hartford Stage. You can buy tickets at hartfordstage.org. That is CT22 for this week. We appreciate you being with us. CBS Sunday Morning with Jane Pauley is coming up next. Have a great rest of your weekend. We'll meet you back here in Studio A next Sunday morning.